Have you ever been told that kindness is a virtue, a quality to be cultivated and practiced at every opportunity? We're often encouraged to prioritize the needs of others, to lend a helping hand, and to be generous with our time and resources. However, what if I told you that there's a dark side to being too kind, that excessive generosity can actually be detrimental to your well-being and even put you in harm's way? In a world that doesn't always reciprocate our efforts, where genuine kindness can be mistaken for weakness or naivety, it's crucial to understand the potential pitfalls of overextending ourselves. We often find ourselves giving endlessly, only to realize that our emotional and financial reserves are dwindling, leaving us feeling depleted and resentful. In this exploration, we'll delve into the surprising and often uncomfortable truths about the dangers of being too nice, uncovering the hidden costs of excessive generosity, and exploring how it can negatively impact our lives. This video, drawing inspiration from the timeless wisdom of the Stoics, will not only shed light on the potential downsides of being overly kind, but also provide practical strategies for maintaining healthy boundaries and protecting ourselves from those who might seek to take advantage of our good nature. By understanding these potential pitfalls and implementing effective strategies, we can cultivate a balanced approach to kindness, ensuring that our generosity benefits both ourselves and those we seek to help. Stick around, because you might be surprised by the bad things that can happen to you when you're too kind, and more importantly, you'll learn how to protect yourself while still maintaining a compassionate heart. And I'll show you 4 tough ways to keep people from taking advantage of you. One of the first casualties of excessive kindness is often our own expectations of others. We operate under the assumption that our generosity will be reciprocated, that those we help will be equally willing to extend a hand when we find ourselves in need. However, as the Stoics wisely observed, true contentment lies in accepting the world as it is, rather than relying on the actions of others to dictate our happiness. This philosophy emphasizes the importance of emotional detachment, of giving without demanding anything in return, as a means of achieving inner peace and a calmer mind. We can often find ourselves trapped in a cycle of disappointment when our expectations of reciprocity go unmet, leading to feelings of anger, sadness, and exhaustion. This isn't necessarily because people are intentionally trying to let us down. Rather, they're simply prioritizing their own needs and responsibilities, as they should. The Stoics teach us to focus on what is within our control, our own actions and attitudes, and to release our attachment to external outcomes, including the behavior of others. This understanding allows us to approach acts of kindness with a more realistic perspective, appreciating the intrinsic value of helping others without expecting a specific response in return. Whether we are aware of it or not, it's hard for us to be fully selfless when we give. When we give everything we have, we expect everyone else to do the same when it's us who need something important. Though you've gotten people so used to having everything done for them that they'll take it for granted that you can handle everything in their lives, and yours especially your own. Because if you don't take care of your own, why would you take care of other people's? In reality, your hopes of reciprocity won't be met, and you'll end up with a bad mood, tiredness, anger, and sadness. Still, if we look at it objectively, people aren't letting you down. They're just doing what you should be doing, which is taking care of their own tasks. This leads to the second danger. People will only expect you to give them something. Human beings are creatures of habit, wired to adapt to patterns and routines. When we consistently provide assistance to others, we inadvertently create an expectation that this assistance will always be available. This can lead to a situation where people become overly reliant on our help, taking it for granted and failing to develop their own problem-solving skills. The concept of a comfort zone is relevant here, as individuals naturally gravitate toward situations where they feel safe and secure. When we constantly step in to resolve their problems or fulfill their needs, we essentially create a comfort zone for them, shielding them from the challenges that are necessary for personal growth. As the Stoics recognized, true worth stems from acting in accordance with reason and virtue, not from simply pleasing others. Moderation in giving allows us to maintain control over our actions and prevent the formation of unhealthy patterns that can harm our mental well-being. By establishing clear boundaries and refusing to be perpetually available, we encourage others to take responsibility for their own lives and cultivate their own resilience. You've heard your whole life that people are creatures of habit, and this couldn't be more true. People are made to adapt to a pattern, a way of life, and a symphony of things going on around them. The idea of the comfort zone comes from this desire to change. This means that if you're always giving the people you help will expect you to give them something all the time, you'll lead them into their comfort zones, and they won't have to do many of their responsibilities because you'll be there to do them. If you don't value yourself, no one is likely to look you in the eyes and tell you to think more about yourself. At least don't expect this kind of empathy from the people you help, because they'd stick to their own Robin Hood, which would cost them a lot in their lives. The third insidious danger of being too kind is that your goals will not be taken into account. Self-care, as the saying goes, is not selfish, it's essential. Before we can effectively support and uplift others, we must first ensure that our own needs are met and that we are operating from a place of strength and well-being. Putting everyone else's needs before your own may end up running away from something inside you that hurts and scares you. If you're doing so many different things because you want to get away from yourself, the blow will be twice as hard because on the one hand, you'll have to face yourself sooner or later, and on the other, your bad mood will get worse as you start to put other people's needs before your own. We have to prioritize our own goals, dreams, and aspirations. The Stoics emphasize the importance of living in accordance with reason and virtue, setting limits, and prioritizing our own responsibilities. If we consistently neglect our own needs in favor of others, we risk losing sight of our own identity and sacrificing our well-being. It's like trying to pour from an empty cup. Eventually, we will run out of resources and be unable to provide meaningful support to anyone. Furthermore, neglecting our own needs can lead to feelings of resentment, burnout, and a sense of being unfulfilled. We may find ourselves trapped in a cycle of constantly giving without receiving, leading to a gradual erosion of our own happiness and well-being. Self-care is one of the most important parts of being healthy. Before you can help others feel better, you need to make sure you're happy, spoiled, and well cared for. That is, you should never give someone a chocolate unless you first really enjoyed one yourself. Similarly, you shouldn't offer to clean a friend's house until you've cleaned your own and watch a good movie while sipping wine the rest of the world comes after you. Another problematic consequence of being overly kind is that people will think you are weak and treat you that way. In a society that often equates assertiveness with strength, excessive kindness can be misinterpreted as a sign of weakness or lack of self-respect. When we consistently prioritize the needs of others and fail to set boundaries, we may inadvertently create the impression that we are easily taken advantage of. This can lead to a situation where people feel entitled to our time, energy, and resources, treating us with disrespect and disregarding our own needs and priorities. As the Stoics taught, true strength lies in self-mastery and the ability to control our own emotions and actions. By setting limits and practicing self-discipline, we demonstrate our commitment to our own values and responsibilities, earning the respect of others. Conversely, when we allow ourselves to be constantly used and manipulated, we undermine our own credibility and invite further exploitation. The person who opposes a boss so much so that they'll come to you to get rid of their responsibilities because they know you won't say no. On the contrary, as soon as you use this magic word, they will start to feel summit. Hing for you, they never thought they would respect you'll have a lot of buts or people who only come to you when they need something. Stoicism teaches us how important it is to be smart and wise. By choosing who to help with self-control and perspective, we can tell the difference between real people and those who want to take advantage, so we don't waste our time or energy on things that don't help. People who thought you were a good friend all of a sudden only want to hang out with you when they need something. Adding to the mix, you'll only get people who want something and never those who want to give. We attract people into our lives who resonate with our own energy and vibration. If we are constantly giving without replenishing our own reserves, we may find ourselves attracting individuals who are needy, opportunistic, or even toxic. These individuals are drawn to our generosity, but have no intention of reciprocating or offering genuine support in return. They may drain our energy, exploit our kindness, and leave us feeling depleted and resentful. Conversely, when we prioritize our own well-being and maintain healthy boundaries, we attract individuals who are equally generous, supportive, and uplifting. These relationships are characterized by mutual respect, reciprocity, and a genuine desire to contribute to each other's growth and happiness. Therefore, it is essential to cultivate a balanced approach to giving, ensuring that we are attracting individuals who are capable of offering as much as they receive. With patient judgment, we can build relationships that are real and good for both parties. People come into our lives because their energies match up with ours. That is, if we vibrate low, we attract people who are negative, depressed, have dark souls, and want to hurt us. When our vibrations are high, on the other hand, we draw people who are full of good energy, kindness, excitement, hard work, and joy. Because of this, when we give to everyone, we lose so much energy that we start vibrating at a low frequency. This makes needy people feel drawn to us, as well as opportunists who don't even want to help and only want to take what they can from us and leave without even saying thank you. Another subtle but critical point to address is that you could end up getting hooked on something. The Stoics advocate for self-control and moderation in all aspects of life, including giving. When we consistently engage in excessive acts of kindness, we may inadvertently create a dependency on the positive feelings associated with helping others. This can lead to a situation where we feel compelled to constantly give, even when it is detrimental to our own well-being. Furthermore, neglecting our own needs and boundaries can create a sense of emptiness or lack in our lives, leading us to seek unhealthy coping mechanisms to fill the void. This may manifest as overeating, excessive drinking, gambling, or other addictive behaviors. The Stoics taught that true happiness lies in inner contentment and self-sufficiency, not in external validation or fleeting pleasures. By practicing self-discipline and moderation, we can avoid falling into unhealthy patterns and maintain a balanced and fulfilling life. Stoics taught people to be calm and in charge of themselves. Self-discipline and giving keeps us from getting stuck in bad habits and lets us keep a good relationship with our actions and choices. When shortage is a regular part of our lives, the need for something grows, which is the best way to get addicted. So one day someone close to you might notice that you drink too much and not just spring waiter. They might also notice that you eat too much or even gamble too much. Pay close attention to what someone who cares about you says, because your first instinct may be to get mad at them and tell them you don't have any problems. But this is how people usually act when they are so caught up in their own problems that they can't see that they have one. Always remember that people who care about you want what's best for you. So pay close attention to what they say, because they're trying to help you stop falling and move forward. Finally, the most ironic of all, you'll make people think twice. While kindness is generally viewed as a positive trait, excessive generosity can sometimes arouse suspicion or distrust in others. In a world where genuine altruism is increasingly rare, people may question our motives or assume that we have ulterior motives for being so kind. They may wonder what we are trying to gain, what hidden agenda we are pursuing, or what favors we will eventually ask for in return. This suspicion can lead to misunderstandings, strained relationships, and a sense of isolation. As the Stoics recognized, true virtue lies in acting in accordance with our principles, regardless of the opinions of others. We should strive to live with integrity and authenticity, allowing our actions to speak for themselves. While we cannot control how others perceive us, we can control our own behavior and ensure that our intentions are pure and honorable. No matter how much we like things to be different, the truth is that there aren't that many kind people in the world. So if you're one, people will be suspicious of you instead of being impressed and thankful. It won't be long before your kindness makes people wonder what's going on with you. And what plans you have that you don't tell anyone about this could mean you've met a group of suspicious people, but it's more likely that they're just being honest. Most people who want to help too much are hiding such evil plans that it's best to stay away from them and refuse the help they offer. Now, let's explore some practical strategies for protecting ourselves from the negative consequences of excessive kindness and preventing others from taking advantage of us. Strategy 1. Pay attention to how you feel, because it's telling you something. The The Stoics emphasize the importance of self-awareness, of understanding our own emotions and motivations. By paying attention to how we feel when we help others, we can gain valuable insights into whether our generosity is coming from a place of genuine compassion or from a desire to please, to avoid conflict, or to seek validation. If we consistently feel drained, resentful, or overwhelmed after helping others, it may be a sign that we are overextending ourselves and neglecting our own needs. In such cases, it is essential to reevaluate our boundaries and prioritize our own well-being. As the Stoics taught, true kindness stems from a place of inner strength and abundance, not from a place of scarcity or need. By tending to our own emotional and physical needs, we can ensure that our acts of kindness are truly beneficial, both for ourselves and for those we seek to help. Think about yourself, and putting yourself first is such a kind thing to do that you should feel like you're walking on clouds when you do it. So if you feel too busy, tired, angry, or use this time to listen to how you feel. If something you don't have to do makes you feel so bad, you shouldn't lie to yourself about it. Instead, find out how the help you're giving affects your health. Strategy 2. Don't be afraid of the word no. This simple word is a powerful tool for setting boundaries and protecting our time, energy, and resources. While it may feel uncomfortable or even selfish to say no to someone in need, it is essential to recognize that we cannot be everything to everyone. As the Stoics taught, our time and energy are finite resources that should be used wisely and deliberately. By saying no to requests that are unreasonable, unfair, or simply beyond our capacity, we are honoring our own needs and priorities. Furthermore, learning to say no can actually strengthen our relationships by fostering mutual respect and encouraging others to take responsibility for their own lives. If we don't learn to say this word when someone wants more from us than we can give, pessimism will take over our lives. Strategy 3. You have a time and a place for yourself. Respect them. The Stoics emphasize the importance of self-discipline and self-respect, including setting aside time for activities that nourish our minds, bodies, and souls. Whether it's exercise, reading, spending time in nature, or simply relaxing and unwinding, it is essential to create space in our lives for self-care and personal growth. By prioritizing our own well-being, we're not only replenishing our own reserves, but also setting a positive example for others. When we consistently demonstrate that we value our own time and needs, we send a clear message that we are not to be taken for granted. Therefore, it is essential to schedule regular me time and to protect it fiercely, refusing to allow others to encroach upon it unless absolutely necessary. You should take this very seriously, so seriously that you should schedule this time every day or every week. So if someone asks for your help at that time, they need to be very kind and helpful to you, not to the person. So, without remorse, you tell them no and enjoy that time and space just for yourself. If you don't want to be so direct, you can offer to help at a different time, but make it clear that you will only be able to help for a short time because you have other things to do. Strategy 4. Identify energy vampires and distance yourself from them. Energy vampires are individuals who drain our emotional and mental resources, leaving us feeling exhausted, depleted, and resentful. These individuals may be chronic complainers, drama seekers, or simply people who are constantly demanding our attention and support without offering anything in return. As the Stoics taught, it is essential to be discerning in our relationships, choosing to surround ourselves with people who uplift and inspire us, rather than those who drag us down. While it may not always be possible to completely eliminate energy vampires from our lives, we can certainly limit our exposure to them and set clear boundaries to protect our own well-being. Don't bother trying to help them, because if their problems were solved, they would have to stop complaining. That's something they wouldn't tolerate. Conclusion. In conclusion, the path to true well-being lies in finding a balance between generosity and self-preservation, a concept deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. While kindness is undoubtedly a virtue, excessive generosity can lead to a host of negative consequences, including unmet expectations, feelings of exploitation, and a neglect of our own needs. By recognizing the potential pitfalls of being too nice and implementing the strategies outlined above, we can cultivate a more balanced and fulfilling approach to giving. Remember the wisdom of the Stoics: moderation in all things, including kindness. Strive to give from a place of abundance, not from a place of scarcity. Set clear boundaries, prioritize your own well-being, and surround yourself with individuals who are supportive and uplifting. And when in doubt, remember the magic word: no. This simple word can be a powerful tool for protecting your time, energy, and resources, ensuring that your generosity benefits both yourself and those you seek to help. Even more so if they offer to drive you home from the window of their car. We've reached the end of this journey, and I sincerely hope these tips will be of great use to you. Don't forget that you are a crucial part of this channel. So if this video has helped you, made you think, or you've learned something, give it a thumbs up so that more people can discover the powers of Stoic wisdom. And if you haven't already, don't forget to check out our ebook about Stoicism and how to apply it in your own life. Subscribe for a daily dose of Stoic wisdom and growth.